So I want to ask you, what is the SEL movement and how has it evolved? And then also, what are you most excited about regarding its evolution?
Yeah, well, a good place to start. So, we've been hearing the term SEL a lot more recently, particularly, with COVID unfolding and how that's really impacted the social and emotional well-being and mental health of not just young people, but our teachers, our community, but really the whole world. But the field has been around for close to 30 years. In fact, in 2019, the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, also known as CASEL, celebrated 25 years. And CASEL is really the nation's leading organization when it comes to the advancement of research, policy, and practice around SEL. And I've had the great good fortune that my main professional mentor, Linda Lentieri, was one of CASEL's founders. And, right now, we've just seen a lot of growth in the field. And I wanted to highlight a couple of things and also just, offer like my quick definition for what SEL is. If you engage with my work more deeply, you'll see, I offer more comprehensive definitions, but for the purpose of this summit and our conversation, I like to define SEL as just the essential skills we need for life success. So, the essential skills we need for success in life. Now, there are many different frameworks out there. The one that is probably the most popular is the one from Castle, and it consists of 5 core competencies of self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. Now, as of now, 27 states in the United States have adopted K through 12 SEL standards, and all 50 states have adopted pre-K SEL standards. So that's just a little context around, how where this movement is, and that it is making its way through state policy. But a couple of things I want to lift up around how it's evolved. So for many years, we identified SEL as a program, and a program is one component of a systematic approach to implementing SEL in schools. And I can talk a little more about the other key components if that comes up in our conversation. But for many years, we thought that social and emotional learning was race and culture neutral. But one of the things we know is that nothing is race and culture neutral in our country. And a lot of these SEL programs were reinforcing dominant culture norms. And so we've seen a growth around really incorporating an equity lens in the SEL work. So those competencies I mentioned before of self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, responsible decision-making, and relationship skills, there are also equity focal constructs that correspond with each of those competencies. So for example, when we are thinking about self-awareness, it's not just about emotional literacy, it's also about identity and also being aware of our power and our privilege. And when we think about self-management, we also want to lift up agency. This work isn't just about regulating ourselves. It's ultimately, I believe, about liberation and liberating ourselves. And so for social awareness, we really want to lift up the equity focal construct of belonging. For relationship skills, collaborative problem solving, and for responsible decision making, curiosity. So there's been this evolution in the field with what initially started as these equity elaborations, and now we have these equity focal constructs, but really holding an equity lens to the SEL work. And, I was fortunate that in Oakland, given the context and culture of Oakland from the start, we were really seeing social and emotional learning as a lever for creating more equitable schools. So that's just one exciting evolution, this understanding of really integrating SEL and equity and how integral SEL and equity are to each other.